Dion, Purdue basketball is at such a great place right now that there's no negativity surrounding the program, right? So because that's going on, there's no negativity with inside the team. We got negativity between insiders, and it's not even negativity. I'm over here just poking fun at this, but per Hammer and Rails Purdue insider, Casey Bartley, who I want to make something very, very clear here. He was at practice. He was there. He watched it. He was in the gym. He saw it with his own eyes. He seems to disagree with Newbert and said that Jakari Harris is probably on the outside looking in. He also stated that the fifth starting spot is a complete mystery, basically. So we got a couple things going this way and that way with this one. I think Newbert, our GOAT, came out with a statement saying that Jakari Harris was going to be the fifth starter or was making a push to take that. Per Casey Bartley, who was at the practice, says that it's more of a mystery and that Jakari Harris is on the outside looking in. I think I already know what the answer should be and what you're gonna say, Dion. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask you anyway. I feel like I just threw you a nasty lob right here. Why is that spot a complete mystery? And two, do you think it is a complete mystery? And three, who do you think should get it?
Okay. I feel like I've done every Purdue starting five video this week, which I'm happy about, by the way. I love these videos. But just to balance all the quotes I've heard throughout the week into like a culmination on a Friday type of thing. So Newbert said something along the lines of like Jakari is like leader in the clubhouse or something like
Something
that.
along them lines, yeah.
That probably was true at some point, right? Like there was probably a point where Jakari Harris was the leader in the clubhouse.
Right.
Omer wasn't on campus yet. Simple as that. Omer wasn't on campus yet. That was true at some point. Jakari is now on the outside looking at it, and I believe the Casey you said it was, right?
Yeah, who he was at practice too.
Casey at practice. Casey at practice. By the way, credit to him. I didn't see anybody else like really at practice. Like when you look at the Purdue highlight videos, it's just a bunch of coaches and then players. And by the way, not a lot of players participating in practice. It looked like the coaches were getting as much run as the players, but shout out Casey. He might have got a shot up. Um, I do believe Jakari's on the outside looking in. I think the reason it's such a mystery is because we've convinced ourselves it's a mystery. Like Paint is so good at what he does and such a good coach. And this is probably the biggest compliment Paint can get towards the Signetti versus Paint debate that we did 2 days ago.
Mhm.
He is so good. We've convinced ourselves he's going to play the worst player instead of Omer Meyer. Like that's how that's how good of a coach Payne is. We've convinced ourselves, you know what? He's going to see Omer Meyer play basketball. He's going to see Harris or CJ Cox play basketball. He's going to choose the one with less talent. And it won't matter because he's Matt Painter. That's how good Matt Painter is at coaching. But I'm here to tell you guys, he's such a good coach. He's just going to play the individual with more talent, I think. And I think Omer Meyer is going to wind up being the starter.
Yeah, and I think it's clear that Omer is the most talented of that group. I also think that Paint realizes he's in a spot where he probably should play the most talented person, but also like he's playing a lineup that's Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer. He needs some type of defensive toughness at that three spot, a la like what Lance Jones brought to the team. And I think that he realizes he can get that more so from a guy like Jakari or from a guy like a CJ Cox more than anybody else on this team. Um, I also think that he said he wanted to be a top five offense in the country or the best offense in the country. Best offense in the country starts Omer Meyer at the three, by the way, not the other options. So I don't know. I think that combine the depth options that they have, also combine like what we get an insight of what Paint wants to do with this team. It's probably fluid, right? Like I think from day to day basis. I mean, we're recording this on Friday. I'd love to see an update on Monday. Maybe, maybe Jace Raw had a really or Aaron Fine had a nasty weekend and they get the start of the three. Like I just think it could change for this Purdue team. Um, I think it's gonna end up being Jakari at that spot. I do. Like I get it. I just think that like I'm trying to think like Paint and put myself like in the Harry's chocolate shop right now. And like what would Gene Katie do too? I think he would play Jakari Harris because what he brings to complement the rest of everybody around him.
Dion, how's your job going?
Beginning of the school year, everything's like a little up and down. One of the biggest issues we've had is we can't find any uniforms for our girls' sports teams.
Mm, that's a difficult thing to find a solution for. I know damn well all about that because I got a daughter that just turned 2. She's into sports and she's already outgrowing every little piece of sports apparel she had. Thankfully, I know Clara K Creations. Clara K Creations was started by a former high school teacher who quit because it wasn't cost effective to send new twins and a 2-year-old to daycare. She found it easier to make girls' sports apparel than finding it to buy. And I am so thankful that she exists because if we have an old shirt of Murph's that she's outgrown, we can send it in and she takes that piece of apparel that means something and upcycles it into an outfit that Murphy can now wear as she grows up. She makes great stuff. It's honestly kind of like your fullback's wife, Kyle Juszczyk. Is that how you say it? She does that. But honestly, I think Clara Kate's coming for Mrs. Juszczyk's job.
I love that. I'm a big juice guy, love his wife. Love Claire Kate even more than both of them, though.
You can send in your own custom ideas and she will come up with a design. She's just the best. Look up Clara Kate Creations on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and more.
I love that. I love that we're all trying to think like one of the greatest college basketball coaches ever. And then ultimately, he's going to throw the curveball of like, I have an NBA talented player on my roster. I'm just going to play him.
Listen, I don't think you realize this. Me and Coach Payne are very alike. Actually, we're nothing alike.
I was going to
So
say, in what ways?
yeah,
Oh,
I take it back. We're nothing alike. So
you guys have one similarity. If
what?
you booked out the Navy SEALs for sleepers, you also wouldn't come to the actual Navy SEAL practice.
Facts. Would love updates from the team though. Would love updates from the team and would wish everyone best of luck. Maybe have breakfast at my house afterwards if
You
I'm
shoot
up.
us a text. Shoot us a text like, "Yo, everything going good?"
How'd it go? Updates. But no, I don't know. I think that it's kind of just a fluid situation. I really don't even think we're gonna know till the very first day when the lineups are announced who's gonna be the starter. And you know how it's classic, like line everybody up and the five starters sit down. I feel like Payne's gonna play games with us to have everybody sit down, so we don't even know who the five starters are.
We talked about this before we click record too. This is the biggest issue we're having is coaches don't practice starters versus bench anymore. And
Mhm.
as a bench guy, I just want to say that's crazy. I used to get beat up every practice because I was going against Division 1 dudes every single day. And they no one cared back then. Let's scrimmage, starters versus bench. It's 40-2. Keep going.
Find a way.
Iron sharpens iron.
You should hate that, but that honestly, that's fun. That's funny though, because literally that's how it was back in my day. I don't even want to say back in. That's how it was. I just had to fight for my life against Amir Williams every day. It was bullshit. But excuse my language. I don't like to cuss on Purdue videos, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like last thing I'll say about this too, when you have different people and different basketball minds in the gym, I think everyone it's fair to say that people see things different ways, right? Like I look back to like Team USA U19 trials, there was like 9 different people in the gym, and there were a couple people that felt the same way about certain things, but there was also guys that saw things different ways and like what players and what personnel should be. So the only one who really knows is Coach Matt Painter, and he'll tell us when he's ready. He might never be ready, though, that's the thing, but. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll ask you this, Dion. Classic update that you already answered 9 times this week. Who is your current prediction for the starting five for Purdue?
All jokes aside, like all jokes aside from the video, I get no one really does know because like who knows what Matt Painter is thinking, right? Like my assumption is like the talent's gonna reign like supreme somewhere over the next month and some change, and it's gonna be hard not to put Obermeyer on the court. Um, I've said it a lot too. I also think this like Braden agreed for Omer Meyer to come here for a reason. Like Braden has 1 year left. He said Omer's the guy I want, like one of the two big spots that they got this summer. I don't think he said that for said that for Omer Meyer to come off the bench. Like I mean this respectfully, like Purdue fans, and I guess Braden, but like Braden Braden's thought process isn't let me bring this kid in to help them next year when I'm in the NBA. Like Braden, TK, Braden, I gotta get used to that. Braden, TK, and Fletch want to win right now. And
Yeah.
they said, we want to win right now and we want Omer Meyer. To me, that means he's going to play. To me, that means Oscar Kluff's going to play because they, three seniors said, we want them. So that's where my head's at with it. But like at the end of the day, like all jokes aside, who knows? Because I've done enough of the starting five videos specifically with you. I see the Jakari Harris vision for what it's worth. We do have a bet on it. Loser has to buy like dinner at the Final Four, I think it was. And it would be very classic you and I. CJ Cox starts.
Yeah, no one wins. And we
Yeah.
buy Greg dinner. Like that or something like that. That'd be very, very fitting. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Still a long ways, not that long, honestly. Like exhibition is a month away, less than a month. I think literally a month away from today, the exhibition game is. So we'll see what happens then. Knowing Paint in the exhibition game is gonna start 10 through 15 and say F everybody, but we'll see what happens. But shout out to Casey for his report. Who was at practice, by the way.